Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Lehjiit here to bring you 10 tips and tricks on how to drastically improve your Call of Duty skills. Now, although this is based on Call of Duty World War II gameplay, most, if not all, of these tips will apply to any Call of Duty and even other first-person shooters. Now, before we get into the 10 topics, you guys are probably asking yourself, who is Lehjiit? Who are you to tell us how to play Call of Duty? So I probably need to go ahead and establish some credibility. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm here on my computer. I'm going to go ahead and fire up Google Chrome. Let's look at some stats from the previous two Call of Duties. Right here you can see my gamer tag. That's me. These stats are from Infinite Warfare. So let's go ahead and see what we got. Weekly stats. Damn. 4.77 KD. That's not overall. That's from the last time I played. And lifetime stats. That's overall KD 2.67. And obviously not the highest you can get. But when I say high KD, I think about 1.5 and greater. So 2.6, basically 2.7, I think is pretty good. Because if you look at most people's stats, a lot of them are 1.0 and under. So I think 2.7 is pretty good. Let's look at Black Ops 3 stats. Here you can see my gamer tag again, so you know it's me. 2.04 lifetime. Not the best, again, but not bad either. So I think I know a few things. And with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so for my first tip, if you play on the default settings, you're going to want to go ahead and adjust and increase your sensitivity. That includes vertical, horizontal, and aiming sensitivities. You're going to want to bump those up. If you play on the default setting, which is usually about 5, you want to get up to at least about 9 or 10. This will allow you to turn around quickly. This will allow you to aim to the left and the right quickly. Since Call of Duty is a fast-paced game, people are moving around, your enemies are moving around a lot and moving around very quickly, and you want to be able to do the same. One of the biggest reasons I play on a high sensitivity is to be able to turn around quickly. A lot of times you get shot in the back, and sometimes you can even turn around and kill your enemies if you can turn around quick enough, which you will see in this clip ahead. And for my second tip, you're going to want to decrease your visual lag. And what I mean by that is decrease the time between your input and the output. Basically, you want to decrease that time from when you press a button and you actually see the output of you pressing that button on your TV. If you watch all of the Call of Duty professional players or anybody that's really competitive in these types of games, they almost all of them play on computer monitors because they have a low and a quick response time. A lot of them recommend computer monitors with a 1 millisecond response time. The one I use has a 5 millisecond. If I had known any better, I would have got a 1 millisecond, but this one works just as well. You can look on Amazon, go right in the search box and type in 1MS computer monitor, and you'll find a good one. If you don't have the means to purchase a computer monitor, another thing you can do is basically just sit closer to your TV. Computer monitor is your best option, but if you sit far away from your TV, you're going to have a delay between your input and your output. So, best option is to get a computer monitor. Second best option is to just sit closer to your TV. For number 3, you're going to want to use a headset that puts out chat sound as well as game sound. Again, if you watch the pros play, they all have headphones. Some of them are noise canceling, some of them aren't. But what this does for you, other than allowing you to communicate with your team, simply put, just hearing almost everything within the game and being able to communicate with your team at the same time just allows you to be more focused. And when you're more focused, you play better. For number 4, you're going to want to play with the group. If you can. I don't know about PlayStation or PC, but Xbox has this great feature called Looking for Group, or LFG for short. Playing with the group is great. It you know, you guys can really lean on each other. And, you know, sometimes you have a bad game and, you know, somebody in your group has a really good game. Therefore, you can still get the win. But just playing with a group overall, you'll have a better experience. You'll have a better win-loss ratio as well as a better KD ratio. Just because, you know, usually just playing in a group, you can find some friends to play with. You know, you can build some really cool relationships. And overall, you'll just have a better time. For my fifth tip, I highly recommend that you know the map that you're playing on. You don't want to just run around aimlessly like you'll see a lot of people do. You want to know where you're going. You want to have a plan. You also want to know the spots on the maps that I call the hot spots. These are basically usually points in the middle of the map where action is pretty much always going on, where there's always a lot of kills to be had and things like that. This will allow you to dominate the other team, especially if you're playing in a group. You'll always be ready just in case there's enemies. And with that being said, I also recommend that when you're playing on the map, you're going around a corner, just always assume that the enemy's there. A lot of these clips that you'll see me on, as soon as I turn the corner, I'm already aiming down the sights. That's just because I'm assuming that the enemy's there. Just the tip number 6. Once you know the maps, you know the hot spots, you know where the enemies are, you're going to want to be able to control the map. What I mean by this is locking down certain spots of the map. You know, usually on maps where there's a higher ground, you'll see people staying up there for a lot of the game. Haters call it camping, but I call it controlling the map and owning your zone, and just not letting anybody else mess with that. This allows you to get kill streaks fast. This allows you to, you know, make people rage quit and things like that because they just can't touch you. And then the end result is you getting a win and a good KD. For number 7, we're still talking about maps, but this time I'm talking about the mini map. You always want to keep an eye on your mini map. It's in the top left corner, usually in every game. You know, obviously you don't want to just be staring at that, but it's there. It's in your peripheral. You don't even really need to look at it. It's there. You can see the red dots. It's the most helpful thing in the game. It's the most important thing that you have. It's your most useful tool for playing Call of Duty. If you pay attention to the map, you'll see your teammates on one side of the map, and usually the empty spots, the big empty spots on your mini map is where the enemies are. So, you know, once you know the map, once you know how to control the map, and you see those spots on the maps, you know where the enemies are, and you can usually just take them out. And also, you're always going to want to run UAV, especially if you're playing in a team and you guys are constantly having UAVs up. You know, you really always know where the enemies are, and you know, like I said before, the same result. You get a win, you get a higher KD. For number 8, we're almost done, guys. For number 8, you're going to want to pick your shots, and what I mean by that is to basically don't shoot at somebody that's running around a corner, because bullets don't curve in these games. If somebody's running around a corner and you decide that you want and you need to kill them, you can chase them, but don't shoot at them because they can turn that corner and they can turn on you and then you look like a scrub. For number 9, you're going to want to do what I call shielding yourself. A lot of times this comes across as head glitching. People like to get mad and send you messages and say, stop head glitching, stop camping, you faggot. But you know, honestly, everybody does it. And if you're one of those guys, you're like, oh, I don't head glitch, I'm a real player, then you know, that's cool, good for you, buddy. But being able to shoot enemies while minimally exposing yourself is a great tool. It allows you to get a lot of kills while maintaining a low number of deaths. So it's a very useful tip. Always shield yourself. This doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, you only exposing your head. Sometimes you're only exposing the left or the right side of your body, but you know, you're always shielding yourself and having maximum coverage while having minimal exposure. And for my last and final tip, and for the most important one, number 10, you're going to want to play as much as possible. If you're one of those people that you just play every night for like an hour just because the game's kind of fun, your friends play it, it's cool, you wish you were better, but you know, whatever. You know, you just got to play more. You can use these 10 tips as a base and then build off of that and create your own play style. You know, I don't believe that any two people play the same exact way. So you know, you play more, you develop this style, and you find what works for you and what doesn't. And you know, you just gotta play a lot. You gotta put in the hours if you really want to be good at this game. So those are my 10 tips for becoming a better COD player and getting a high KD, or whatever this goal is that you want to reach. You just want to be a better player. KD doesn't matter to you. Win-loss is more important, or vice versa. You know, whatever it is for you, these are 10 tips that can help you tremendously. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. You can follow me on all social media. Links are on my channel page, my channel homepage. Is that what it's called? You know, that thing. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. My Xbox gamer tag is also there. It's on the screen the whole time, but it's also in the description. If you want to play with me, I'm more than happy to play. I play Modern Warfare Remastered a lot right now, waiting for World War II to come out, and then once that comes out, I'll be playing a lot then. Also, once that game comes out, I'm going to be releasing another video similar to this one with 10 more tips that I believe can help everyone out. So again, if you like my video, please subscribe. I have more stuff coming, car stuff, drum stuff, how-tos, you know, and more gaming stuff. So I do have some pretty good content coming. So if you would please subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. That's pretty much it for this video. Once again, thank you for watching and have a blessed day.